What's up, everybody? I'm Chris Camozzi, and you're watching the Bare Knuckle Show with Brian Soscia.
Friday night, February 2nd, the world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, is finally back in Hollywood, Florida, at Hard Rock Live inside the seminal Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. In the main event, a world title is on the line when the undefeated champ, Luis Baboon Palomino, knuckles up with former pro boxing world champion, Austin No Doubt Trout. In the co-main event, it's a clash of the undefeated warriors when Bryce Henry fights Robbie Peralta. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com.
What's going on? It's Brian Soscia. A new year, a new me. I kind of want to punch people in the face and say stuff like that. It just annoys me over social media. But anyway, I just literally saw that as I was signing on, so I figured I'd say it. Happy New Year, in all honesty. We're really glad you're here with us in 2024. It's going to be a huge year for us. We're very excited about it. First Bare Knuckle show of the year. And I know we have the faithful in the chat. Hello to everybody. And again, Happy New Year right back to you. Today's show, coming off the new year, a little hungover. I'm sure we all are. A lot happened, so we're going to check into that. And also, Taylor Starling, that was announced in our time off, is going to be facing Jenny Savage coming up for BKFC Prospects January 27th in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're going to have Taylor on joining us ahead of their fight with Jenny Savage a little later today. We're going to talk about the year-end award show, which you have not seen yet, but we're going to talk about that. And also, aside, because it was great. Aside from that, some big year stuff ahead. I mean, BKFC Prospects Albuquerque, you just saw that. BKFC 57, Prospects Canada. We're going to talk about all that today, plus some exclusive New Year's resolutions from David Feldman and some of your favorite BKFC stars. Maybe he resolves never to have that photo shown again. That's what I resolved. That's what happens when I don't send photos. I get it. Listen, glad you're here. I hope you had a very happy holiday. Covered at the top of the show, but I know that Broken Brandon, he's in there. He's got a lot on his hands, but I just want to say hello to you. Is the camera working there? I don't even know.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, there he is.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How was your Christmas?
Christmas was good.
Kids got
it was actually kind of hectic, but we made it through. You know,
that's how it is. I think.
Yeah.
And then New Year's Eve, what'd you do?
A couple things. I actually worked New Year's Eve. And then, but I went to one buddy's little soiree.
Soiree.
And, yeah, soiree.
That makes it sound really manly. You're in a soiree.
And then I went to. Then I capped off the night at my brother's house with my family and his family, and we just watched the ball drop and hung out.
Were you sober, I hope, when you were watching the ball drop?
Yeah, I didn't drink.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. I had 2 beers.
Is that because it's like amateur hour or amateur night for those people, and usually you drink every night kind of thing?
We had the kids with us and stuff, so I wasn't gonna go, you know.
Oh, you're not gonna get
because once the ball dropped, I had to drive home and stuff. So
good thought.
I told my girl that she could drink that night. So,
did you?
Yeah. No, actually, no one really did.
Oh, hey, you're starting the year off sober. Good for you, man. I love that. I was I had a Stone Cold Steve Austin pale ale or something. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I didn't get really too whacked out either. Everyone was sick at my house for the Christmas season, which kind of sucked, but the kids were happy. They got great stuff. Glad you're here. So let's get on from that. Let's get on from everything we have going on today, including one of my favorite segments on the show. We call it Mail Call.
It's time for Mail Call.
There it is. Perfect. That might have been the best one we've ever done, dude. That was on point. I don't know if I can call you Broken Brandon. I'll call you Successful Brandon until you break something again. Successful Brandon here with us. The first thing I want to talk about, somebody sent this in, and we haven't done this in a while, and I want to get back to doing this. It's not just about bare knuckle fighting. There's other bad fights, cool fights, funny fights, insane fights. So if you send those in, we'll take a look and sometimes air them from time to time. It looks like this fight must have happened. This was sent in through social media. It looks like a gas station or a car wash or something. Let's watch these two fat pigs fight it out.
Hey guys, hey, let's not. Hold on. Hey. Fuck.
Big right hand, overhand right. Oh, he's going for the clinch.
We lost call.
Yeah.
Like, what an embarrassing fight. Let it keep rolling for a minute. This guy's, that's right. The fat guy falls down.
Big right hand, overhand right hand, left hand.
Look at these two idiots. I would have choked him with the hose. I would have put it on his neck and choked. That's just me. Whipped him or choked him with the hose. It would have been a better video that way. But this was sent in and said, look at these two guys for BKFC fights in the future, ... all caps, never. I agree. You can always send them into the barenukcleshow@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know how you analyze that horrible fight in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. I see that Slick Rick Caruso's in the house. I love that, man. One of our fighters. I see Gator Wrestlers here. Gator Wrestlers sent us baked goods, and they went quick in my house. They were really good, dude. Yeah. I ate them up. The cookies and the little whatever they were. It looked like what was it called?
What were they? It was
Brickle?
like pecan something.
Oh
right?
my god!
Yeah, dude, I couldn't stop eating them things.
Dude, it was insane. And then the jelly. Thank you for the homemade gifts. We appreciate that. The other thing I want to get to is I had it on a piece of paper. Let me see. Is it here still? Yeah. Well, I don't even need to read it because I memorized it. Our boy Troy. We've talked about Troy the jerk-off before, the guy we want to punch in the mouth if we ever meet him. Troy, if you're going to be in Hollywood, Florida, I will punch you in the mouth. You can fight back, but you're kind of a jerk-off to us. But not this time, Troy. Troy was actually nice in the mailbag this time. He said, thank you for your show and spotlighting all of the young fighters. So, again, just like Broken Brandon is successful Brandon now until he breaks something again, we're on good terms with Troy. So I didn't mean to say I was going to punch you in the face, Troy.
Well, you tell the audience how like a bunch of shit was breaking before we got on there.
We should talk about that. First of all, hold on. I just want to bow to Troy for being nice to us for once. That must be the holiday season. Thank you, Troy. Second of all, yeah, this guy was in here. We're trying to go over what we're going to do on the show, and stuff's just breaking. Stuff. I think so, I saw smoke in the other room. I didn't know if that was from you or from the monitor. There was all kinds of stuff going on over there. I saw monitors shorting out, but Broken Brandon, he fixed it up nice, so he's very successful today. Let's get to our next thing before we talk to our friend Taylor Starling, who's going to be facing Jenny Savage. This is one of our champions, New Year's Eve, who's having a really good time out and about. It's Kai Stewart, Hefty Bag, the Outcast. This is what he did with his New Year's Eve. And I've tried this before. Let me know in the chat if you've tried what he's doing before, Brandon. We'll talk about it in a minute. But this is hard. It's hard. He did a great job. Let's watch. Looks easy, not easy. Then they speed it up. Did you ever do one of these?
No, but my fiance did, and years ago, and it was hilarious. Like, yeah, it gets worse, and then
but look at him.
He's doing good. Well, he's from Montana, so
that is true. I'm worried about that bare knuckle pendant smacking him in the mouth. Probably wouldn't hurt him as a bare knuckle. Look at Kai go, dude. He's not falling off. I was like at the point, like, when's this video gonna end? Just fall off, Kai. Oh, there he goes. Yo, I don't know if he's drinking or what, but drinking or not, I've tried that before. They buck you right off. That's not easy to do. So he's the champion. He's the champion for a reason, as Lorenzo would say. He's athletic. That's core strength, man. So you know he's got that wrestler core strength. Does Kai ever have a bad time? Dude's all about fun, Big Ben says. He's lucky he didn't break the tooth with the metal. Gator Wrestler says, I agree. And Brian Maxwell just joined in. Hello to Red Rims himself. He's here as well. Speaking of Bryans, congrats, Kai, again. But speaking of Bryans, Brian Duran. Now, this guy is incredible to me. This guy's undefeated. He's got a fight coming up against Louis Lopez. Can't wait for that fight. Going to be a great fight. But the way he trains sometimes, we've seen him hit himself with hammers. We've seen him sledgehammers, punch hammers. We've seen all kinds of, I've seen him explode watermelons with his bare hand when he punches them. This was new to me. Let's go to the clip of how Brian Duran was training. This is pretty incredible. And if you watch the whole thing, you know, they do some stuff in the beginning, but it continues. And it gets crazier.
Your forearms are getting really strong. Get ready to break your hands. Hit the body. I think that's just a game.
Like he's jabbing him in the stomach. Smashing him in the stomach. I'd be like, stop that shit. Stop. Seriously, if I was Brian Duran, he's a tough guy. I might not be, because I'd be like, all right, stop. We just did this for the video. Don't hit me so hard. that shows you how tough he is. Louis Lopez is amazing too, but he's going to have his hands full. I think Louis knows that going in, and we're going to talk about that a little later when we get into that card, the Hollywood card. I'm very, very excited about that card, but undefeated for a reason. Brian Durant, stuff like that. That guy trains like a maniac, and we're excited to see the fight. We really are. Got Taylor Starling coming up ahead of the Hollywood fight. She's going to be at BKFC Prospects in Albuquerque. We're looking forward to that as well. She'll be in the virtual green room in just a minute. She has the link, and we're going to kind of uncover how her holiday went and all about this Jenny Savage fight. There's a lot to it. Looking forward to that. While we wait for her, let's look at BKFC 57. Let's look at BKFC 57 while we wait for her. I mean, I'll tell you right off because we just saw Brian Durant. Brian Durant, undefeated for a reason. I said it. Him versus Louis Lopez. Louis, what, 3-2 now, I think? I could be wrong. That's the top of my head. And he's trying to get back on the winning track. Louis needs to get back on the winning track. Brian needs to advance to go further where he needs to go for a title. It's an important fight. These two are going to beat the hell out of each other. But before I get to all that, the Freeview. Have you seen the Freeview for BKFC 57 in Hollywood? It's amazing. I mean, undefeated Rambo Russo versus Justin Street. That'll be a fun fight. Steve Tomahawk Townsend, who they love there. They come unglued for him, versus Leo Brashear, who's legendary fighter out of Montana. We've seen him fight before. Guy's tough as nails. Actually, I just saw him with Bridger Brashear. Bridger, his brother, he was cornering him, and Leo told me he was going to come back. He wanted to fight. So here he is, Leo Brashear and Steve Townsend. That'll be a fun war, I'm sure. Then you have Ryan Reber, who's been having a great career. I think his last win may have been Travis the Animal Thompson versus Derek Perez. These are just the previews of that show. Like, that's to get all the eyeballs on because it's so good. And then, like I said, you have undefeated Brian Durant, Louis Lopez. That'll be fun. But what about, there's some other ones that got released, fights that got released since we've been on last. And I'm excited for Bryce Henry, man. Always want to see Bryce Henry. He's one of our youngest stars on the come up. There's nobody going to stop this guy, but maybe Robbie Peralta will. Robbie Peralta's been around for a while. He's seen it all. So Robbie, Bryce, another good fight on that show, BKFC 57. I'm looking forward to see how Bryce develops within the company. I think a lot of people are too. And then also, this is another one I got really excited about. It's an interesting fight for so many reasons. Jomi Escoboza and Isaac Doolittle fighting on BKFC 57. And if you look at it, the caliber of that fight, it's interesting. It's a great fight. It's going to be fun to watch. But you have a shorter guy and a taller guy. I think that we'll get back to that in a little while, but I believe that there's definitely a reach difference. You know, how's he going to get inside? How's he going to get inside on Jomi? Jomi's got that crazy jab, the wonky jab. We're going to talk about all that and more, but I don't want to keep her waiting because she's here, and I'm looking forward to talking to her because I've been looking forward to this fight for a while, and I'm glad it's finally happening. I'm talking about our friend Taylor Starling. She's on the phone. The Killer Bee! There she is. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. It's really good to have you here. We always like talking to people, and especially Killer Bee. It's been a while. So much to get into. But first of all, how was your holiday season?
It was amazing. You know, I love being Santa and the boys. That's the best part of Christmas. So it was awesome. They got everything they could possibly ask for.
Favorite gift, man? What do you think for each one of them? What do they like playing with the most?
Ooh, my son wanted a mini fridge. That's like the only thing he asked for. So he got a mini fridge. He's a big gamer.
Okay.
He's pumped about that. And then dinosaurs for my youngest. And he got so many dinosaurs and Godzillas. It was insane.
You can't go wrong with dinosaurs. I love that. And then I do know, too, Taylor, that from our past conversations, I mean, we've been working together for many years. I've been watching you fight here for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. I don't think you do it anymore. You probably don't have time, but you used to get up really early in the morning and you would work at a bakery. You were a baker. I know our very own Crystal Pittman's a baker. We should do a holiday bake-off next year. But
oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that. But baking-wise, is that something you just did for a living or you love baking? Did you even have time around the holidays preparing for a fight? Like, how did that go? You a big holiday baker?
Thankfully, the way that my fight career has played out, I don't have to work any extra jobs anymore. So that's nice. It's something I love to do. I just don't have the time to with training and everything, but it's one of my favorite things to do. I made so many goodies for everybody, and eventually down the line, maybe I'll have like a coffee shop or a bakery too and keep doing it. It's something I love to do, but my passion is coffee. Like, I really want to own a coffee shop.
I want you to own a coffee shop because I'm going to hit you up for free, and I'll pay for the coffee. I'll support you, but I'm like Mr. Caffeine, so I love a good cup of coffee, good cup of Joe. You got a name picked out for that coffee shop yet? Anything rolling around your mind?
It's got to be bee themed. I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be bee themed. We're going to have honey. It's going to be a whole thing.
Okay, I dig it. I'll roll some stuff around my head. How messed up is it that over the Christmas season I was out shopping for gifts for my wife? I just thought about this, and I saw a pair of earrings, and I thought, I'm not going to do it. No offense, because you're not my wife. But I said I should get these for the Killer Bee. They were little bee earrings. And I'm thinking to myself, like, my wife doesn't want these, but Taylor would love them. That's how much BKFC's on my mind, Taylor. Just want to let you know that.
Be anything.
I know you love that. So you talk about being kind of busy training and all, and that's important. We know how hard you train. How do you even do that? I mean, it's insane to me. I'm looking here. You have obviously a pro fighter. You're a businesswoman. I know you have your OnlyFans account. That takes some time. You're a mom. Yep. You're a full-time mom. You're a great mom. How do you do it all? Seriously, around the holiday season, I watch my wife, and she works really hard at her job, and she works hard with the kids. It's a lot. She would, if she was watching, she probably is. She would say the same thing. Now you're a pro fighter on top of that. That's a very interesting thing to juggle. How do you do that?
Thankfully, the boys have been in the gym since they have been born. So they're used to the training and being in the gym. Sometimes they hate it, but they're always running around the gym with me. It's hard. It's just where there's a will, there's a way. I have routines that I follow very strictly. And I cry in the shower every other day. So that's like, I get it out of my system. It's just, I don't really have the option. Like, I don't have the option to say I don't want to do it. So, you know, I got goals, I got bills to pay, I got shit to do, and I got stuff to handle. So mommy does it all.
That's amazing. It's not an easy job. You cry in the shower. That way the tears blend in. The kids can't hear you. You're probably crying over stress. When I cry in the shower, it's usually when I get out of the shower and look at the mirror, especially after the holidays, and look at like my belly and stuff. That's when I cry. That's just me. I'm being honest with you, Taylor. I always am. So let's thank you for that. The Pee Wee Herman laugh. I love that. So let's talk about some other stuff before we get to your fight you've had going on. I mean, this is a big deal. I hate to bring up Crystal Pittman again, but she's your fellow baker. She's also doing something with the reality show. I'm going to find out more about her, but I know you're doing a reality show, and it's with the guys from Tiger King, right? The guy from Tiger King, is that correct?
Yes, they actually got on to me about talking about it when I did. I let you mention it. That's fine. That can be up there. But they got on to me about it. So I can't say too much, but yes, we are filming a reality show. I can say that. I just can't get like into all the details. But I think Crystal Pittman filmed a couple days before me there.
Oh, same show.
Like,
same show?
Yeah, same show.
Look at this. I love it. So same show. Is it just Crystal or is Jared involved too? Do you know?
Jared was there. Yeah, they were all jealous of Jared's abs. Like all the guys on the boat were talking about how good they both look together. So
I love it. No one again will be jealous of my abs. I don't have to worry about that. But I'm excited to see how this thing works out. I'll talk so you don't have to. Tell me to shut up because there's a little bit I know about it, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
It's the guy from Tiger Shark who we just saw the picture with. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry. It's the water sports guy. And he's doing, I guess, his own reality show as a jump off of that. I heard, this isn't from you, Taylor. I heard online the working title is called Tiger Shark. So we'll be interested to kind of see where that goes. And you'll keep us updated, I'm sure. But kudos to you guys for getting involved and you know, sporting the BKFC females and even Jared out there. We love it. We'll take a look at Jared if we have to, you know. So
we get to represent the company in a cool way and go and like, you know, just do something different. I'm always trying to plug BKFC where I can and use my name and my brand to springboard into other things. So it's really cool.
And that works out perfectly. And you've done that in other markets we've been in when you're not even fighting. You're going on the Good Day shows, the Good Morning whatever show, and you're just representing the company in a way that not many can. So we appreciate that. Thank you for always flying the flag of BKFC. And I'll say it to any fighter. It helps put gas in our engine, so to speak. We appreciate that. Even if you're not fighting or you're just using our brand to, promoting our brand. We really appreciate that. I'm looking now. Hey, that's for you, Taylor. May 19th, from what I can see, is your last fight, if I can remember correctly. Where have you been? You're out there in the movies? You're training for your next fight? What are you doing? We haven't seen you in a while. What have you been up to?
Just training him out the same shit, just a different day. I'm always just working hard. You know, it's super frustrating. I've been sitting on the sidelines just waiting to fight. I kind of have been in like a camp since September. Me and Jenny have been back and forth, like supposed to fight in September, supposed to fight in October, November, December. So it's just been like this thing that's supposed to happen, building up to it and then not happening. So I've just been staying ready for my time to shine. I've been watching from the side, just ready to get back in there. So I've been just getting better, learning, ready to get in the ring. It's going to be awesome. And just trying to do all the little side quests I can, you know, like you said, being on the news and, you know, just life is life. And
so this fight with Jenny, it's something I was talking about on the show. I was very excited to see the rumors of this fight happening. She was asking for it. You were asking for it. Everyone, I was asking for it. The chat was asking for it. Everybody was excited for this fight. And then it kind of petered off for a while, and now it's back. It was like a Christmas gift over the holiday season to see it come back. I know that Jenny went on like social media strike until she got the fight, and you weren't happy because you wanted the fight. There seems to be a lot of emotion in this fight. So I don't think it's a secret to say this is a fight you probably really wanted. Do you see this as some kind of redemption kind of thing? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, and when I signed with Bare Knuckle, Jenny, I think she had one fight, and we've crossed paths quite a few times, and we knew that this day was going to come. It took a lot longer than I thought it would, but it's personal. There's history. I've had to deal with Jenny for years since we fought MMA, and yeah, big redemption story. I think I've got a lot to show her. I think she's underestimating me, and I can't wait to go and I can't wait to settle it. And this might set up even a third fight after, who knows, but it's a good storyline. And for those that know my career and Jenny's career, we've got history, so it's going to be good.
Let's talk about that history. You say it's a good fight for both of you. Both of you wanted it. You knew this fight was going to happen. And when you say this is your second fight, who knows, maybe it could lead to a third. Your first fight, from what I could see, now I've never seen the whole fight, so school the people that haven't. I believe it was an MMA fight. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was an MMA fight. We did not go to the ground once.
Really?
We didn't grapple. We had a full Muay Thai MMA glove fight. That's all it was. MMA gloves and Muay Thai. We were beating the shit out of each other the entire fight.
So it might be more than
a great fight.
You two beating the shit out of each other again, this time with bare knuckles. That'll excite the fans. But I guess from what I could see, Jenny came out on the winning end of this. Am I correct?
Yes, I broke my nose. Okay. So it was a lot. If anyone goes back and looks, my nose was just massacred. I had fought right before that and broke my nose in a previous fight. And then I fought Jenny. I took the fight with Jenny MMA on a day and a half's notice. They didn't have someone to step in. So I drove to Kentucky the second they offered me the fight, and then went and fought Jenny, cut to 114 and fought her. And yeah, she got the better end of the fight. She blew my fucking nose out, but.
And you're ready to go again, this time bare knuckle. But do you think, I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off, Taylor, but do you think that you said she was underestimating you? Do you feel she's underestimating you because she's felt you fight with gloves on in a different atmosphere, different rounds? Everything was a little different there, even though it didn't go to the ground. But do you think that, I don't want to put words in your mouth, I'm just asking this. Is it because you don't think she kind of respects what you've done in bare knuckle? She doesn't know how good you are in bare knuckle, how hard you've trained. Why do you think she's underestimating you?
I think because of the outcome of our MMA fight, I think she's going to underestimate me there. I think she has this sense of, I've already beat her, so I can beat her again. And it's been this much time, I'm just going to beat her with ease. I've gotten so much better. I'm having a full camp. This isn't a one day, I'm coming up to Kentucky to fight you. That was my pro MMA debut, so I had never fought 5 rounds before. This is all set up in my favor. And Jenny's tough. I have a lot of respect for Jenny. I'm not going to shit on Jenny and be like she's good. She's good. I'm not fighting a can. I'm fighting someone. She hits hard. I've been punched by Jenny. But I think I'm just going to be so much better than her when we fight. And I can't wait. I can't wait for it.
I know you're excited. You've been chasing this fight, like I said, and she's wanted it as well. And I think that makes the fans even more excited about it. The ones in the chat, the ones that are watching this in all of our outlets, because you can see sometimes people just get matched up and they take the fight. Now you respect that, but when there's two people that want the fight and there's a redemption story for one in you, and then for her, it's to prove, she's just as tough as she said she was, and watch you two collide. Come on, it's going to be awesome. We can't wait. Killer B, Taylor Starling. What else do you have going on? Training is, I hate to ask this question, but I need to, because I think it's the most cliche question, but I'm sure training has been going well. Have you changed your training up a little bit? Because let's be honest, I'm here to say how great you are, but you're trying to get back on the winning track here. You had that rough one against Christine Faria, then you had Jad Masam Wong, both game fighters. If you lose to someone, lose to them. So what have you done differently in your training? Anything differently?
I've done a lot of cross training. Like since I fought Jod, I've like gone, I've trained with John Dotson. I've gone and I've trained with Christine. I am here in Jersey and I got some cross training yesterday. Like I'm going and taking like little things from different people, and all of the consensus is like, it's just small little minor things, nothing crazy. I don't have to change too much. That's the one thing everyone says, like, you don't really need to change anything crazy, just minor little adjustments. And yeah, that's what I've been doing. Ginny's a southpaw, so I've been really just like focusing on fighting a southpaw, and that's really it. I'm always in the best shape. I'm always well conditioned. I mean, my fight with Christine and Jod, like they were not the best, but like I went all 5 rounds with Jod and I got dropped and got back up and kept fighting.
Yep.
Christine, that's the story, but I'm always in the best shape and ready to go. So
Taylor,
I don't have to change too much.
Taylor, I'll agree with you on that. I do have to bring this up because you just talked about it. And I see in the chat they want me to ask you. Mike wants me to ask you this. And I think you may have done this on other outlets, but please do it here if you could. He wants to know, can you ask Taylor to explain what happened in the Faria fight? Why did she give up? Was it the pain of the punches, the speed of the punches? Was she injured by the punches? He just wants to know what happened. And I mean, yeah, that'd be an interesting story to hear.
So when I fought Christine, I was not okay mentally, and it wasn't because of Christine. It wasn't the pressure of like the title fight. Like I had a lot of things going on personally, like my mental health. Like I had just found out not long before that I was bipolar. Like I had a whole lot of shit. I was just had a lot of shitty stuff going on in life, and I was using that camp as a distraction. Yeah. So I was distracting myself and trying to put everything bad going on a back burner. And I kept thinking like, I'm okay, I'm good, I'm fine. Well, when it came time to like weigh-in day and fight day, like I just couldn't get excited about it. It didn't feel real. It felt like I was not there. I was mentally just checked out. So I can always tell people about this. Like when I was in the ring and Jeff Houston was announcing my name, like Taylor, Killer B, I couldn't even, like, I didn't feel like I was there. I remember looking around and just being like, where the fuck am I at and what's going on? So, you know, unfortunately, sometimes you just have a bad day at work. Like you go to work and it's not a good day. You got too much work. You can't get it all done.
Yep.
And that's the best way to explain it. Like, I just didn't check in. Christine hits like a fucking truck. Yes. But I just wasn't there. And like mentally, once after the fight was over, I realized like, okay, I was not okay, and I was trying to ignore it and trying to like just go through the motions, and that just wasn't a good way to fight.
So it was almost a little bit of a wake-up call. In this negative, you got a positive out. You the whole. They always say, right, a setback is a setup for a comeback, and that's what you're doing now. And I'm glad that you figured that out about the bipolar diagnosis and being getting your mental health where it needs to be. That's extremely important because, you know, that's a hard thing to deal with. I can't imagine walking into a fight like that, not being mentally there. God bless you. That would be scary as hell to me. And I also think that it's interesting. Someone like you or all the wonderful fighters on our roster, they get watched by hundreds of thousands of people. So if you make a mistake or something weird or bad or something you don't love happens to you, everyone's judging you the next day. They're judging you. They're judging you that minute. But you know what? As they go into their office and they push a pencil or they type on a keyboard, they got one person maybe judging them if they're lucky, if they got a boss. That's it. So it's a whole different ballgame.
The takeaway from it was like, it was the lowest point of my life. Like there's so many people that said the most awful, hateful, demeaning shit that I've ever heard in my, like, I can tell you 100%, I've been through some shit. Like I've been through some traumatic shit my entire life, but that was the lowest point of my life emotionally. And like the things that people were saying, and like, it's people that will never even step foot in the ring. It really changed my perspective on stuff and like, you know, dealing with haters and how people are. Cause at the end of the day, who else is stepping in the ring with Christine? Like,
not me. Not me. I'll tell you that.
Took a big opportunity and it just, you know, it didn't play out the way I wanted to. It was very hard to go through that. It was a big life, like just so many things stemmed from that. And I learned a lot about myself. And, you know, the crazy thing is people still talk shit about that, but never even watched me fight Jod and like see that I got fucking dropped with a massive shot and got right back up and kept fighting. Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about Luke Rockhold quitting, getting his fucking teeth knocked out, or Eddie Alvarez's team throwing in the fucking towel. But for some reason, still to this day, it is Taylor Starling quit fighting Christine. Like it's unreal.
But it works out.
It's
but as much as I enjoy working with you, I mean, for you, it's like, unfortunately, even your nickname, the Killer Bee, can lead to being made fun of about not being there for the fight. So these people have fun doing this kind of thing for some odd reason. They think that they're fans. I guess they can say whatever they want, and you just have to ignore it, because we've seen your fights with Charisse Sagala, your debut. Go watch that fight and call Taylor a quitter, or go watch the Jad fight. And I agree. So I like that you're kind of rehabbing yourself, because I guarantee that everyone that talks shit about the Christine fight, after the Jad fight, you had less shit talkers. After this fight, you have less. You're kind of rehabbing yourself. Not that you even have to do that. You just fight and do your thing, and you're going to be fine. How do you beat Jenny Savage? How do you beat the Tennessee Gangster? What do you have to do?
She's an outside fighter. I got to cut her off. I got to put the pressure on her and just hit her with something. She tends to kind of slow down when she gets hit with a big shot, and that's it. I got some big shots for her.
I'm sure you do. We're excited for that. Before I let you go, I just want to let you know, everyone in the chat here is saying, Taylor, keep it real. Respect the honesty. So it's all positive. There's nobody talking shit in the chat. Everyone's excited about what you just said. So you must be resonating with some people.
I love you guys. Someone said I sang happy birthday. I don't remember doing that, but I'm glad that I made your day.
Okay.
I try to spread all the
You do.
wherever I go.
I say that it was always a good vibe when Taylor Starling shows up. And since you don't remember singing happy birthday to that kid, could you please do it now? Go ahead.
Happy birthday to you.
All right.
It looks like Zoom's having issues.
Yeah, I think we're having some, look like Max Headroom right now.
I don't know your name.
That's all right. We're having some issues with Zoom. I'm going to get ready to let her go. That's a big smile. We can end on that. Taylor, can you hear me okay? We're freezing up.
Yeah.
You're awesome. I was just going to leave you with, I'm curious how many tattoos you have, because I feel like you get new tattoos every fight. How many are you up to right now?
I've lost count. I will say probably 70 or 80% of my body is covered.
Are you going to go for the full body coverage? Is that what you're looking to do?
No, I'll leave a little something. I leave like a little. I mess with this arm too much more. I don't know. But you already know I'm going to get more after I fight.
I know you are. Every time you fight, you get like just sleeved up with tattoos everywhere. And the last thing I'll say to you is, there's people in the comment section. You talked about maybe opening your own bakery or coffee shop earlier. Big Ben said the Killer Cup of Joe. Brian Maxman says Killer Bee Coffee. Someone wants to know, does it come stocked with Bucked Up in there? The Gator Wrestler wants to know. So they're all on it. If you open something up, you're going to be gangbusters. You're going to be super cool. But before you do all that, concentrate on the fight. What a Christmas gift. You versus Jenny Savage. I can't wait. It's the BKFC Prospects Albuquerque show, our next show. You can find out more about it at bkfc.com. But for now, Taylor Killer Bee Starling, I said I needed 10 minutes. I had you on for longer than that. I appreciate you taking the time.
Love you guys. I can't wait to see you guys in Albuquerque. Let's go.
We'll be ready for it, man. Can't wait. We're looking forward to that fight, Taylor. Killer Bee, there she goes. Flies off. Thank you, Killer Bee. That was great to talk to her. I like catching up with her, find out, and she was very forthcoming too. That's what's cool. Sometimes people want to make excuses and they sound like excuses, and who am I to judge? I'm not in there fighting, but sometimes they sound like excuses. I felt like that was very real, and I'm glad that she was so realistic with this. I mean, she let us know. For those of you that are just finding out what happened, that was a great way to put it. Broken Brandon, actually successful Brandon, you haven't broken anything yet. Successful Brandon. I mean, I think she's very forthcoming. Some people get mad when you ask questions when they lose that quickly and stuff like that. Did you feel the same way?
No, I mean...
No, you didn't feel the same way?
Wait, what was the question? I'm doing something.
I know he is. It's successful Brandon. He's in there doing 5 things. What I said was she was very forthcoming with the interview.
Yeah.
And when you ask things like the Christine Faria decision, I'm more trying to show who she was, what she lost, and now she's building back. And I think she understood that, because sometimes people get mad. I respect her honesty. I think she was very honest.
Yeah, and I think I saw a clip of the one interview she did where she was talking about it. I mean, it makes sense. Like, you know, like she's a tough fighter. Like that Knucklemania, her Knucklemania debut was fight of the night. I think
the Knucklemania debut was
amazing.
Like
that fight is like millions of people have watched that. I mean,
that'll be remembered forever. Forever.
And yeah, so I mean, people don't know what goes on behind the scenes all the time. So.
No, they don't, man. And now it's nice that we can pull that curtain back. And here's Killer Bee's buzzed coffee. That's what they're saying. They want they're now
That's not bad.
Get buzzed at Killer Bee's. Oh, Killer's buzzed bean. I like that.
There's with that nickname and doing that business, there's going to be a ton of ideas.
Oh yeah, dude. And it's the overhead for coffee is so low, right? So you can make a lot of money. I would guess it's cheap to make. It's water and beans. And then you make a lot of money. They're calling you not a successful Brandon today in chat. They're calling you Sleepy Brandon. Are you sleepy? Did you get any
Sleepy Brandon?
You've been working the whole holiday. I don't think you took any time off, did you?
No, I did. I took time off, but no, there was some stuff I had to take care of, and I just did it.
What are you, Italian? Some stuff you had to take care of? When you knock somebody off?
Yeah, to go down the
docks. They swim with the fish.
I am
now?
from New Jersey, the home state of the Sopranos. But that's North Jersey, all right? There's a big all right.
My wife would say North Jersey.
Really quick.
Hold on. My wife would say North Jersey's not even South Jersey. They're not even Jersey.
No, we're completely different areas. I live in South Jersey, grew up in South Jersey. North Jersey and South Jersey, they should be different states. Like they're
different.
Not even.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Like you drive up 95, that's the major highway. It takes you up north. Like it changes like into, it's like a little New York almost.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
But where I live, it's all like woods and
the Garden State.
Yeah, the Pine Barrens, and that's where. In the Pine Barrens.
Why don't we give it your address so they can visit you when they're in Jersey? It's 717 East Woodstream Drive. Is that right?
Yeah.
Really? I was just taking a stab at it.
Go ahead.
I don't know your address.
Send anything you want there.
Send some more of that peanut butter brickle or whatever.
Give me some of them pecan cookies.
Brickle. That's right, Belinda. Send that over.
And the gator goo.
It's Sleepy Vespi Brandon. It's whatever that means. Nick Vespi's in the chat as well.
Oh, melatonin Pepsi.
So let's get back to
Pepsi. Do you have your water?
Okay.
That's an inside joke.
Yeah, that's why we don't tell inside jokes on the air because they make no sense even to me. Let's see what else we have going on here. We were getting into it when Taylor came up. Let's shift. We'll get back to BKFC 57 stuff in a couple minutes, but let's go into the Prospect Series January 29th in Albuquerque because I know that Taylor's fighting.
27th.
What did I say?
You said 29th.
Did I really? You know what's funny? I wish you could show us. I literally have the 27th on my notes in front of me. January 27th. If you're showing up the 29th, you're going to have to watch the replay, and you'll look like a jerk off. You'll look like me. I don't want to make you look like that. Don't do that. January 27th, Albuquerque, Mexico. A lot to get to. Of course, you see Sanchez versus Cutter. That's going to be a great bout for reasons we'll talk about in a couple minutes. But first, I want to get to my favorite bout on the whole thing. I'm not allowed to gamble, nor do I gamble, but if I gambled on a bout, this will be the one. This is a hot tip for you, and I want you to make some money. So gamble correctly. Ready? You need, in this one fight, to bet on Adams to win. Let's see the graphic, and you'll win. I guarantee Adams versus Adams. There you go. One of the Adams has to win, so just bet on Adams.
Adams is going to win.
Adams definitely going to win. I know it's a horrible joke, but as I was looking at it last night, I thought, this is a terrible joke I'm going to make. And then I saw on some different social media, people were making the same joke. So it's not that bad, but it's a heavyweight bout. I'm looking forward to this. Adams versus Adams. I'm looking forward to the whole Prospect show because like we've said, this is where we find some of the young guns, some of the new talent. They emerge. And also we're able to
then maybe one of these Adams will fight the other Adams.
It's Adam for the Adams title. I love it. Yeah, we're really stupid from the holiday this year. I feel like we're stooped up. Honestly, I mean, I'm sure that will be a good. This is a mess. I'm sure that will be a good fight. The other one I'm looking forward to, a lot of them on this card. And we're going to go through these, unpack them as the weeks come about. Eric Dotson, brother of John Dotson. We were just talking about how he's been helping. John Dotson's been helping Taylor Starling train a little bit versus Dakota High Pine. This is a fight that's going to be a lot of fun. The crowd's going to come unglued. Homeboy Eric Dotson. We've seen him before. He's on his. I think he's got to win this one because last one I don't think went his way. But Dakota High Pine,
he lost to a decision against Robert Armas. Or is it Roberto or Robert? I think it's Robert.
I like saying Roberto, so I'll say it like that.
That was a good fight, actually. I was just watching that for some reason.
Probably because
I was editing something, yeah. And I watched it in real time because, it's a good fight.
I agree. So go back and check that fight out. Get ready for Eric Dotson versus Dakota High Pine. These matches are great. And then now you want to talk about the co-main event a little bit, which we just spoke to Taylor Starling a couple minutes ago. She's jazzed up about it. I know the fans are. I am as well. And, I mean, so Prospect in my mind, I want to explain this. And I don't think I'm talking out of school here, talking out of turn, but you're going to see, as we said, a lot of the new young guns on Prospects. Some of the people that are going to help carry this promotion into the future, we hope, in the next couple of years. We're going to be discovering them on the tryout show. Then on Prospects. My gosh. And then
Get it together.
I can't, man. It's like I drank a lot of coffee, and I'm doing like coffee burps. It's very gross. Killer B would love those. I buy her coffee. But you see these people that I'll call bigger stars on the prospect show, and I'm seeing like this prospect's card's amazing. We love doing that for you. But the reason you see a Noah Cutter or you see anybody on there, Donald Sanchez, these are guys that have fought on numbered shows, Taylor Starling, Jenny Savage. Some of them, we're going to put top tier talent on there. So you can watch the main events as if almost it was close to being a numbered show, but you also are going to be discovering young talent. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, and I love that we're doing that. The main event, as I said, Donald Sanchez versus Noah Cutter. Now, Donald Sanchez is no stranger to the main event scene. I mean, he's been around in MMA. He's done it, battle-tested so many years in MMA, the cards before he came over to BKFC and started bare-knuckle fighting. We know that MMA is a different ball game. We've learned that, boxing, anything. Bare knuckles unto itself, but this is his first BKFC main event, and it's going to be pretty amazing because from what I understand, this is his hometown, so that will be huge. That'll play in his favor. I mean, to be in a main event in your hometown is a big deal, but he's excited to see his name. He was telling us on the marquee, but he was quoted as saying it's just business as usual, which that's a good thing going in. It's not playing with his mind. You know, sometimes you're fighting your hometown or you see your name in the main event, you think you have to provide differently. Well, you're in the main event for a reason, as they say, so you just keep doing what you're doing. And you don't get nervous. He said
he's got about almost 50 pro MMA fights, about 50.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So I know bare knuckles different, but I would guess you get the pre-fight jitters out. You know, we talk, these guys have been fighting for years, have a lot of fights on their belt, and they always say it's just another day at the office. He actually was quoted here as saying, I want to read this correctly. He told us that it's cool. He gets a little bit more spotlight and a bigger audience to fight in front of, especially with the growth of BKFC. But as I just said, his job is always going to be the same. Go in there, win, and put on a show for the fans. And then he said, I'm going to win by knockout for sure. His goal is to get the BKFC title, and he sees himself with that belt by the end of the year. That's lofty expectations. That's how you have to go into the new year. We love it. But you're standing across from Noah Cutter. I can't say his name today. Noah Cutter. I know him very well. I love watching him fight. He's battle tested as well in BKFC. This guy probably has some of the most fights ever in BKFC. He is tough as nails. He doesn't quit. He doesn't know when to quit. He won't quit. So by knockout, that'll be interesting. But I see he's one of those guys, Noah Cutter. I see him on the card, and I know it's going to be a fight that's amazing. So we're excited for that. And I mean, it's just going to be great with Sanchez's following in Albuquerque. It's going to be awesome. And again, we'll go through more fights because we have a couple weeks till we get there. But I want to look at now. I want to take a look back because we started doing this before, the BKFC 57 card, because that's the one after the Albuquerque card. And once these cards start coming, they're going to be coming fast and furious. You're going to see them nonstop. We talked about how the free view is amazing. You can catch that, of course, on Bare Knuckle FC if you're watching on Instagram, right here on Instagram. And we'll have that all the places you can see it. We talked about undefeated Brian Duran, who's been on a tear, facing Louis Lopez, who's looking to get his win back, get back on the winning track. That's going to be a fun fight. We talked about Bryce Henry and Robbie Peralta. This fight, I mean, this card is insane. Jomi Escoboza, that's kind of where we left off. You look at Jomi and Isaac Doolittle, this is a fight that I'm excited for. I know you are as well, for so many reasons. I started talking about Jomi's kind of wonky jab that he has that always works. That jab is killer, man. And, you know, Doolittle's got to get on the inside for that. We know that as well. And it's just the height difference, man. The height difference is pretty crazy. Actually, Isaac, what's he, 5'9", I think, and Jomi's like 6'2". It's going to be incredible. He was saying to us, I should tell you, Isaac was saying this, that basically Jomi's tall, lanky, and he's got a really good jab. Same thing we were saying. He said, I'm going to have to get up on a stool to punch him in the face, though. You know, Doolittle's reach, I think it's 67 inches, if I can remember correctly. That's like 10 inches less than Escoboza's reach. So this is always going to be interesting. So what's the remedy to that problem? We wanted to know. He said, just bully him. Get up in his face and bully him. That's how a shorter fighter is going to be successful. Always press the action. Don't let them do anything. And he said he's going to be the tallest opponent I ever fought, so bullying him is definitely my top priority. I'm hoping to drop him in the third. But if I know my track record, I think this fight's going the distance. That's what Doolittle's telling us about this fight. I'm sure Jomi has some stuff he's going to say too, but a very intriguing fight for a lot of different reasons, and I think that's going to be one of my favorite fights on the card. Big Ben saying the entire BKFC 57 card is basically a main event. I know, I don't know how they even order these fights. I can't figure it out, man. But they do. So that's exciting to see Isaac Honey Badger Doolittle and, of course, Jomi Escoboza coming back. And then we talked about the Bryce Henry, Robert Peralta thing earlier, too. That's amazing as well for many different reasons. There's major rankings, if I can speak today, implications are on the line. I mean, undefeated, both of them. So somebody's O's got to go, as Jeff Houston says. Both undefeated, first 3 trips to the BKFC Squared Circle. Both combatants, you'd think they're hungry for a shot at the BKFC World Lightweight Championship in 2024. Henry is, I believe, the number 4 contender in that stacked weight class, and then Peralta sits just outside the top 5 from the last I heard. And we talk about jabs. Henry has one of the best jabs on the BKFC roster. So we'll see what's going to happen. He says he's going to put his money on the jab again. He might not get past the first round. That's what he's talking about with Peralta. He might get dropped with my jab. He might get cut. The doctor might stop it again. So that's what he's saying. Everybody knows that I'm the top fighter in the division. Robbie's just somebody that's in my way. I'm just trying to get the guy who has the belt. I want to get the guy who has the belt. He's smart to avoid me for as long as he can. So this is another top-notch fight that we're going to give you on BKFC 57. We're looking forward to that. Again, we'll go through more of that card. There's so many great fights in it. We'll do that more next week, but I'm excited about it. Another thing I wanted to get to, aside from the great cards we have coming up, and you're very excited in the chat, I can see as well. The year-end award show, people are wondering where that is. That's going to be coming out very soon. We're going to be best overall fight, best KO, best male fighter, best female fighter. The votes, I believe, are all tabulated. Maybe I'm wrong. I believe the show has been shot. Is that correct?
Yes, we shot it.
You shot the show. What did you think? I mean, as you're shooting the show, give us some intel. You don't have to tell us too much. You don't have to tell us who won or anything like that.
I'm not saying anything.
But what did you feel about the show?
It looked good. It looked great. Yeah, it went well.
He told me he was going to be tight-lipped about the show. He won't even tell me who won. Well, tell me more about it, though. Like, as you filmed it, I believe Cyrus Fee's hosting it, correct? You give people a little...
Yeah, we got Cyrus the show. He's the host.
How long did it take? I know I wrote a lot of the show the day before. I helped out with that.
Like just shooting it? Or
yeah,
like,
I mean, the whole day, shebang. It might be an hour show or whatever it is, or half an hour, whatever it is. I don't know.
I mean, we had like a whole day of setup and then a whole day of setup and finish setup and shoot.
And they shot it in this studio. They reconstructed it. Broke It Brandon, successful Brandon today, was here to put the studio back together bright and early. I wish we could show it. We'll show it another time. We did some redecorating here over the Christmas season. You'll be able to see that soon, too. I think we're going to show it right now because I have an amazing cameraman in here. He's going to spin it around. Some of the new decorations here in the BKFC studio. We're going to continuously be putting more stuff up. We had some time to do this over the holiday season, though, so we're going to be showing that in just a minute, what the walls look like. What's this? 6? There's about 9 new things hanging up here. You're going to see some of them. We're going to scan through. I believe we have it set up. I don't know, though, because this is like a last-minute thing. But it's really cool, and I believe Cyrus was standing in front of these things that we did the decoration for when he did the show. So the show's going to be amazing. We're looking forward to it when it comes up on the BKFC app. Keep your eyes peeled for that. A lot of good stuff. Like I said, I don't think they want me to give away too much, but I helped write some of the show. I was saying to Brandon earlier, I know some of the content we have on there. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and it's going to be absolutely incredible to spotlight. There it is, to spotlight some of the cool things, not just fighters, things that happen to BKFC throughout the year. It's a whole package of the year. Very excited about it. Here's some of the new decorations we put up. This is where, like, when Dave Sr. or David Feldman would come in to sit, he usually sits here. There you go. You don't want to go too low. There you go. And then this is what it looks like now. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. A little behind-the-scenes thing for you. There you go. That was quick. Broke It successful Brandon came in here. He set that up really quick on the fly because he didn't know I was going to do that. But I want people to see. The other thing I want you to see is some of the resolutions. This is important. We talked about it at the top of the show. Some resolutions for the new year for some fighters. And I kind of want to go through them because I think it's very important. And you can drop your New Year's resolution. Maybe you do them, maybe you don't do them. Drop them in the chat. I want to know what your New Year's resolution is. I'd love to read them off as well. But for now, we're going to talk about the fighters. Let's see. First up, this guy, he's very colorful. We enjoy him. Zach Shark Attack Calamus. He says, I don't have any New Year's resolutions, but I do have a few major goals. He said, I feel like I need to shoot high, and even if I miss, I'll be amongst the stars. I would want a world title shot at a heavyweight title and be the BKFC heavyweight champion this year. Or, that is a lofty goal. That's a lofty goal, but he's a tough guy. So if anybody can do it, Zach can do it. But I say that, Zach, even if you don't get to that goal, getting the world title shot, at least maybe you can make a goal to sit next to Caitlin again on the airplane, one of our lovely bare knuckle round card girls. You could sit right next to her, and that was a highlight of your year. I felt there it is. You shared it on your social media. Yes, that was fun. So there you go. Maybe get that goal again. That'd be great. And then we move over to Devin Gibson. This guy, he's going to be on the Canadian show. I'm excited, as you can see by the maple leaf on his head. Excited to see him fight again. It's been a while since I've been able to watch him fight, and he'll be in his home area of Canada, which is awesome. He'd like to travel and experience as many new things with his son as he can this upcoming year. He's going to pick up some new/old hobbies, planning to get back on the ice for some hockey, eh? He's approaching his 30th year, so these thoughts have been circling. He laughs. They're not going to stop circling. When you get older, you still think you're gonna continue to do these things. So get it in now, Devin. Then, of course, like I said, main event BKFC prospects March 2nd against Tyler Randall. I'm looking forward to that. That's his New Year's resolution. It should be to win in Canada as well. I'll throw that one in for him. He probably wants that. Moving on to Crystal, the rugged beauty Pittman, because it's always nice to see Crystal. This new year is living in the moment. This is goddess vibes, and this year is hashtag, you're going to make fun of me. Somebody help me. Maybe it's you, Brandon. Somebody in the chat, I don't know what this even means, is hashtag BABSZN. Babson? Babson? Is that something I should know? Am I too old to know this hashtag?
I don't know it.
Does anybody in the chat know what hashtag BABSZN is? Babson? Babson. I don't know. That's what we'll go with. I thought I was old. Now I feel better because you're pretty young and you don't know what it means either. If you know...
Is it BABSZN?
Yeah, I believe that's what it is. Look it up. Maybe we can figure that out. We have to figure that one out. I was hoping somebody could help me in the chat. Let's see. Bowls, Beers, and Brawls has a breakdown on his channel of some stuff he's been doing. He said 2024 goals me to see a BKFC card live. Well, we're coming to Canada. And he's saying in the chat that Canadians don't have shirts. That's right. They should be sending you some stuff for a shirt because the Christmas special, I remember you didn't have a shirt, and I'd love you to wear a shirt. It was sickening. Sickening. All right, let's see who else we have here as we're trying to figure out that hashtag, whatever the hell that means. Oh, this is a good one. Keith the Rockstar Richardson. He's going to be up here. He's never been big on New Year's resolutions because if there's something that needs to be changed, he tries to change it immediately. So he doesn't want to wait for the date to change. But New Year's is a good time for reflecting on the past year and evaluating things. And speaking of the date changing, becoming the new year, I guess my resolution is to try and remember to put 2024 on paperwork and not continue to write 2023 until March, which we all do. I hate that. I've done that for years, man. When the new year changes, I don't know who writes checks anymore, but you're writing checks where you're putting a date down and you're writing the wrong year for a couple months. Am I the only moron that does that? Do you do that? I used to do that all the time.
Yeah, sometimes, but it takes a couple days and then you're good.
Yeah, it's like muscle memory, man. It's crazy. It's insane. So that's actually my favorite New Year's resolution so far. He's going to work to put 2024 on immediately and not 2023 when he does paperwork. A couple more. We got Esteban Mohawk Rodriguez. Love this guy. This guy's got so much intensity. He completed last year's resolution of fighting 3 times this year. 2024 is going to be his best year in all of his 31 years of being alive. He plans on opening up his Team Mohawk Ranch. Wow, this will be home for Team Mohawk LLC. Headquarters consists of a recovery facility, intense combat sports training, and positive empowerment. Love that. This will secure me becoming BKFC World Champion. I can use my earnings to help the communities and fighters all over the world. So he's going to try to become a champion and use that money to have all these things happen. It worked from last year. I'll tell you what, man. The real money for Mohawk is to come up with some kind of like Mohawk wax. That stuff barely falls whenever he fights. He could then kind of donate that to people. I'm telling you, that guy could make so much money with that. And the other thing I want to say about Mohawk is this guy, as I said at the top of this resolution, has so much intensity. I've talked to him privately behind the scenes at fights, and he always says the same thing. This is going to be the greatest thing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. He's so intense. I love it. Watch for his intensity when he does the weigh-in show and just when he fights. It's not to be matched. It's incredible. Big Ben Rothwell, New Year's resolution for him is to win the BKFC World Heavyweight title, go to as many live events as champion as possible, to be with the fans. He wants to put more time into his social media as well. He's working on interacting with our amazing fans and spreading the word of all the incredible things that BKFC is doing. That dude sounds like he's Hulk Hogan writing something. He just wants to win the title and hang out with the fans. And that is so true. I've, again, spoken to Ben privately at events, on the phone. He said that resolution to me on the phone in a private conversation the other day. He wants to win the world title. Then he's going to fly himself out to every event to be with the fans. The guy, I don't know if you're watching, you've never been to a live show. I do a lot of fan engagement, interaction. I shoot the bare knuckle bazooka off. I run around like a madman. I give away free stuff. And I feel like if Ben wasn't a fighter, that's what he'd want to do. He's constantly asking to be involved with that. So let's see him get back on the horse. Hopefully he's feeling a lot better from his sickness that he had, his illness. He seems like he is. Last time I talked to him, he was in the gym, ready to go. So hopefully he can obtain what he wants to do in this new year. We'll wait and see. Love to see him at more shows. Tony Loco Soto is looking forward to a new year to bring him more challenges, more victories, the success of his new gym, which he has the big bare knuckle logo on the outside of that, and to get a title shot. Continue to grow as a person, a fighter, and a father. That's very important. That title shot he wants is against Luis Baboon Palomino. He's been trying to get that forever now. I think he's going to try all throughout the new year until he finally gets his voice heard. That's what I think is going to happen. Kai Hefty Bag Stewart, we heard from him earlier on the show. He wants to hit the extra gear in training in his new year. The Outcast, he wants to actually start trying now. Ooh, wow, that's crazy that he would say that. He wants the big names. He wants the big money fights. And the only way to do that is to get better. By the end of 2024, he will be the face of BKFC. That's what he's saying. And we wish you luck on that, Kai. Love all the stuff that you're doing as champion and how you're representing the company, getting us out in front of. I know this past year, he was backstage at like certain rap concerts. He was at baseball games throughout the first pitch. This guy is a huge ambassador for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, and we appreciate that. Kai Hefty Bag Stewart, the Outcast. And then Austin No Doubt Trout coming up to fight Luis Baboon Palomino. We're excited for that. His New Year's resolution is plain and simple. He's going to be a BKFC world champion this year. Plus, he's got that big fight, like I said, with Luis Baboon Palomino coming up. If he gets past Luis Baboon Palomino, maybe that could be in his future. We'll have to wait and see. JR the Lion Ridge, the last but certainly not least here, his New Year's resolution for 2024 is to be better at not being a fat kid in between fight camps. He was laughing when he said this. Real talk, though, every time he sets foot in the gym, he's looking to avenge his loss to John Dotson. JR, the Lion Ridge, there's his resolution. And to kind of jump off and talk a little bit more about JR Ridge, if you look at his year, he only got to fight. I was looking at this, once, and it didn't go his way. We know that, defeated by John Dotson. That was the inaugural flyweight championship, if I can remember. Main event, it was back in August. I know, I spoke to him afterwards. He was heartbroken by the loss, and he just knows he's better than he showed. So he's saying this in all his resolutions. He said he just didn't show up. He didn't show up, and that's the name of the game sometimes. He has no other reason for saying that he lost. That's what it is. He does want to see a rematch between the two of them. He even has a location in mind. He's saying he firmly believes that a location, if they had a rematch, could be in, where did he say? I just saw it. Oh, the Philippines. That makes perfect sense. That would be huge. Can you imagine how big that fight would be if we went to the Philippines and did JR Ridge and John Dotson? That would be insane. I'd love that. So that's how he's looking forward to getting to the resolution he's making. David Feldman, this is the big one of the year. Our fearless president, founder, David Feldman. Look at him. Oh, there's the boss man. He had some resolutions for the new year. Basically, his resolutions for the new year were just to make sure. He said this morning, actually, to me. He said this morning on a phone call that his resolutions are to be held accountable for a lot of stuff. I don't know if that's what he said in public, but I thought that was a very good resolution to kind of look at. But when you look at his other resolutions that he said, these are interesting. He said, be the kind of leader you would want to follow. That's how he's going to live in 2024. That's very important, I know, for the staff. His personal note, this is a personal one. He said that 2024 will be to never forget, this is a goal, who was there for me when I needed them without asking. Not someone just looking for someone. No, looking for something. A lot of people, I feel like when you're in Dave's position, a lot of people come with their hand out looking for stuff, but he's looking for more than that. He's saying 2024 will be the biggest year in the company's history, but I also want it to be my biggest personal growth year ever by becoming the person I can be, the best person I can be. I mean, you look at a president, a leader, a guy that's been fearlessly championing Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and getting us bigger and bigger. That's very important. So we're excited to see his goals as well for the new year, his resolutions. Another thing I want to talk about outside of resolutions is, I don't know if you saw this, but I saw it pop up. Paige Van Zandt. Haven't heard from her in a while. You know, now we hear from her. Apparently, she thinks she's got some more gas left in her tank for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. I'd like to know what you feel in the chat. Are you interested in seeing Paige Van Zandt fight again? And who would you like to see her fight against? The article's up there from MMA Junkie. They were talking about it. She just says if she did MMA, she'll do it in PFL, but she doesn't want to do MMA. She wants BKFC. She wants another bare knuckle fight. She's still talking about it. She loves her time here. But I'm curious to see who she could fight. Again, I'd love to know from you in the chat. Maybe we can talk about that more in the coming weeks. But there you go. For those of you that have been asking, is Paige Van Zandt going to fight for us again? She's in. She's waiting for, it looks like, an opponent or a date. But it's got to make sense. I don't think we should just throw her out there. You want it to be a good fight, right? So let us know in the chat maybe who you think she should be fighting. I would love to hear that from you. Aside from that, the last thing I want to get to today, I want to cap off today's episode with tryouts. We talk about how important they are. We have some very important tryouts coming up. I know we have graphics for them. One in Sterling, Virginia, Saturday, January 13th. Of course, as always, Chris Lytle is going to be there. He's going to be helping out. And you can sign up at bkfc.com/tryouts. This is a way, I say it every week, if you don't get picked, it's fine. because you know what, you're going to learn a lot. Maybe get picked next time. And we are cooking with these tryouts, one after another. I feel like the next set of tryouts after Sterling, Virginia, that's going to be coming up in, where are we after the next set? Yes, there it is. Follow along here with me. North Hollywood, California. Thank you for being here with us. We appreciate it. Saturday, January 20th. You can sign up also at bkfc.com/tryouts. It's all up there, the info on your screen. If you're listening through audio, just go to bkfc.com and you can find out where the tryouts are happening. This particular one at Brick House Boxing Club. The address will be up there for you in North Hollywood, California. Again, bkfc.com/tryouts. And even more than learning from Chris Lytle and whoever the guests end up being, because we have guests at these tryouts too. Some of the best things are that you can be featured possibly on a TV show. Because if you've been watching on the app, BKFC Tryouts, I've loved what they're doing with that. I loved how they're putting it together, how we're following all these younger fighters. So even if you don't make the cut, you still might be featured on a TV show, which then could help you in the future. I mean, business-wise, that helps. As soon as your face gets on TV, that helps a lot. So, and then maybe you can be featured more, even more each time you show up at a tryout. But they're very important. That's the lifeblood of the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship fighters, those tryouts. A lot of big stars have come from there. Before I get out of here, I just want to thank you again. I want to tell you what a wonderful year it's going to be, what a wonderful year it was. And I'd like to proclaim today, please put the camera on yourself, Brandon. Now look directly at it. I want to give you a compliment. Keep that camera on yourself. I'd like to proclaim today as the first ever successful Brandon Day. He's turned over a new leaf in the new year. Oh, he's going to fight with me now. He's turned over a new leaf.
The first ever?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, there wasn't one.
Would you just forget about all the other episodes we've done in 2023?
The hiccups we've had. I mean,
we've had hiccups. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And we're going to have more because that's streaming.
We've had hiccups so bad. Stop trying to blame it on streaming. We've had hiccups so bad.
I'm not blaming it on the streaming. I'm just saying.
Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Calm down. Listen, I'm trying to give you a compliment. Please take it. Now put the camera back on yourself. Your people want to see you. He's gone. He's done. What I was trying to say was we've started 2024 for the first episode as successful, Brandon. From this point forward, as soon as you break something, you're going back to broken, Brandon. So how long can he be successful Brandon for? What do you think? Let us know in the chat. And we will refer to him as successful Brandon until he screws up and breaks something again, at which point... Well, now you're broken, Brandon. Why would you play that clip?
I'm messing with the soundboard.
Well, now you're going to be
There's
broken.
A lot of fun things.
I'm putting you over here, and you're making it bad. Oh, they're going nuts in the chat. Listen, on that note, successful Brandon, I'll give him one reprieve because it's the new year. Got to be a little nicer to him. He does help drive the show, and we really appreciate him. He's amazing. There he goes, getting his own sound effects. I love it. Well, listen, thank you again. I'm excited for the new year. This will be the biggest year in BKFC's history. Full speed ahead. We can't wait until next week. Another great show as we continue ramping up into the new year. Until then, I invite you to get blocked up and knuckle up. Let's go!
Once again, another challenger steps up. Once again, you take out another challenger.
Looking at Luis Palomino, they say he's like the best boxer. Hey, find nobody like me.
Clever, there's a big left hand in that Rock-Sizing Valley flag.
Nice, crisp, clean box, and you haven't seen a guy at his level still.
And I see my man Luis over here ready to say something. Come on, Luis. I, the champion. I want you. Well, you already know me. I fight everybody. I don't care who it is. I want the smoke.